Hey guys, it's Feral Crafter. I have, let me see if I can pick up the plow here. There we go. I have plowed the second field to perfection. It's been like 2.5 hours and the sun still hasn't completely set. It's still just dusk. I'm like, dusk is usually just 30 minutes. Anyways, I have expanded the second field to be much, much larger. So that's been completely plowed, and it is also have been fertilized. So the edges are rough, but that's to be expected when you do your own plowing. So I was actually wanting to see how I've plowed into the road itself. Road is not necessary, it's the edges. You need enough space on the edge for turning around and all that good stuff. So I still plan to put in a fourth field here. I've chopped down a lot of trees. As you can see, I have more trees that I need to chip and to sell. But it is this field I'm working on right now. And I'm actually going to go again halfway up the road to plow it all. So I thought it'd be important just to show that how much I've been plowing. So I was working on just expanding the edge. It was going to be a lot further out, so I get nice square results. But this is what I wanted to show you. I'm expanding the field by that much. And it's a pretty amount. So with that said, that's all I was wanting to show right now. So I'll catch you in a moment. Thank you for watching. Hey guys, I'm back. It's a few minutes later. The sky is finally dark. The area is finally dark. There's no way that this would allow stars to shine through. But, you know, hey, it's a game. It's beautiful. Lovely. I thought I'd actually mention about my trips down to the south and dealing with relatives who live there. And my side of the family never cared about anything else other than us. Just us. And with my mother dying, you know, she was the mother of a different family. Or she was a daughter of a different family, which was my mother. And they've shunned her since she was an alcoholic. She was drunk. I call myself a drunk, but the liquor store I go to says that I don't buy enough to be an alcoholic. So I'm like, okay. I'm a low-bottom drunk, I guess. Anyways, going out there, it was interesting. It was, you know, very in the Bible Belt area. And there was one individual who was just everything by scriptures. And he was going to do a song. He taught guitar out of his house. Him and his wife taught many classes out of the house, just traditional stuff. You know, sewing and music and piano and just out of the house kind of stuff. And it was kind of eclectic. It was nice to see that a woman was actually teaching sewing, and they had quotes on the wall about sewing. One of them, it kind of floored me that if you're going to be sewing, make sure the dishes are done. Make sure the kitchen is mopped. Make sure the house has been vacuumed. Make sure that everything is in its place. And then dress up. Dress up to the T so that just in case the husband comes home while sewing, there is no shame. You're not afraid of anything. There's nothing to be worried about. These are my words. These are my words. it was interesting, you know. So to for a guy to be dressed up in a suit and tie, the house is clean, no dishes, the floor is mopped, the house is vacuumed, everything's put away, trash is cleaned up, everything that needs to be done is done, and you dress up in a suit and tie to do sewing in case the wife comes home. So I'm doing just a reverse analogy. I'm just like, weird. But this is what they promoted. I'm like, okay, this is their culture, this is their society. Who am I to challenge this? It's different. But fine, if it works for them, it works for them. Anyways, one guy, the husband, holy crap, hound dogs howling could do better than this guy's music. And he was a teacher. Yes, those that can't teach. I fully understand that. And clearly, this guy couldn't sing. This guy had no sense of music. But he taught people how to use a guitar and the piano. I'm like, well, hopefully they can figure out how to be better than this guy. Holy shit, he sucked. Anyways, at the funeral, yeah, he did his little note, and my brother, who can't sing, was there just making him look worse than he was. He tried to sing off key just so that this retard could, I don't know, have confidence that he was good. I'm like, no, sometimes you have to tell people they're shit, to beat them down, to force their face in the mud before they change. I'm like, the guy's old. I mean, old. 55, 60. At this point, it's like he's been doing so much damage to society. Just let him finish. There's no change. He's not going to change. So, anyways, it was amusing. Both me and my twin had a real problem with this guy. I mean, if it was not exactly the scriptures, he would lose his fucking mind, but not say anything. So I went on about, this is something I figured out a while ago, that, it's just like, okay, there's good and there's bad. And so how do you describe good and bad? Well, in a primitive culture of a mud hut society, you describe it as angels and demons, the light and the dark. So I described that, hate. Hate begets hate. Hate causes more hate. So the best way to stop hate is to stop hating. Do not hate. Do not cause others to hate. So how do you stop this? Ego. Do not brag that it's like, oh my god, I could do this in the first try. What's wrong with you, you fucking retard? Yeah, that's ego. That causes hate. In others, it may be true. You may be dealing with sorry, I got hiccups. I'm trying not to hiccup on the mic, but do I have light? Come on, I'm hammering the... Oh, nope. Hammering keys. Hopefully I have a light here. Nope, no light. I'm just going to have to find the trees in the dark. So my whole thing is, it's like if you feed demons, you're feeding hate. And demons have a tendency of feeding each other. And if you break a sin, you're being egotistical. Well, I could have done it in the first time. What's wrong with you, you loser? Yeah, that feeds your ego, which is a demon. And then it feeds hate. It causes others to hate. It may be true that this person is a fucking loser. But you don't feed the demons. So I expressed this idea at this place with... the retard's name is Jim. J-I-M. Jim. His wife? Sexier than, like, the European what's her name? Diana. she was sexier than a queen. I swear to God, she was a perfect 10. You know, in my, not my family, but my mother's family, people's hairs turn white at the age of 20, and they are completely pure white at the age of 30. You know, think Colonel Sanders at the age of 30. And it's not attractive until you hit 40 and 50, and people just absolutely love it. So I'm looking at this, you know, this Jim's wife. Beautiful, pure white hair. She's 45, maybe 50. Just looking beautiful as hell. She was like, she was absolutely a queen. And this guy was just some dragon farmer who was just pure scripture. Oh, it's not in the scripture. So I explained my idea about hate. Hate feeds demons. We are both demons and angels. What do I do to feed angels? It's like, where'd you hear this crap from? I'm like, holy crap, are you ignorant? Are you stupid? What turnip cart did you fall from? So this guy was fucking retarded. If it wasn't in scriptures, then it's not real. Oh shit, was strawberries in scriptures? Where did strawberries fall? When you see strawberries, does this piss you off? Well, those are mythical things like unicorns. Don't eat them. They're part of Satan. Yeah, whatever, you fucking retard. So, anyways, this guy was just, if it wasn't in scriptures, his head would just blow up, because it's just like blow off, like, ah! Where did his head go? Oh, it blew up. Someone mentioned about strawberries. Strawberries are not in scriptures, so what the fuck can understand? So anyways, Jim, this fucking retard. So I'm talking about good and evil, and that people can't believe in God because they look around and all they see is demons. Because, you know, everyone's so hateful. They're feeding hate. And they're hating each other. I'm like, well, what we need to do is feed the angel. So I hold open the door for someone. Black, white, brown, Ethiopian, whatever. And they say thank you. They don't always say thank you. But when they do, I say you're worth it. I don't care what your paycheck says. Because 98% of the entire population is not making what they need to survive. So in doing so, you've got this chuckle like, and humor is free medicine. It heals. It honestly is healing. So you got the humor going, they have that chuckle. And then you have that, you're worth it. I don't care what anyone else has said. You are worth it. Thank you for being alive. I'm glad you are alive. That is all said within this, you're worth it. I don't care what your paycheck says. And the guy kind of smiles as well, that's a good thing. And then he ignores everything else I've said. I'm like, this guy is a typical retard. The ones I expect out of religion. They're a blind eye, they're a bigot, they're a racist, they're a sexist. This is the type of guy, and I've talked to the wife. Turns out she was actually 60-something. She looked in her late 30s. She was beautiful. She could have been a queen. She's a perfect 10. Yes, she had pure white hair, but she's had it since she was like 25, 28, sometime around then. But she could have been a queen. An absolute queen. Just beautiful, perfect 10, you know, trophy wife. This guy doesn't deserve her. And apparently, she's been broken many times by him to fit his religious ideology. Like, what's the difference between Christianity, I can't talk, anyways, and Muslims? Not much. They all have their ideology. They all have their little beliefs. Is it right? No, but it's part right, but part wrong. And they turn a blind eye to the part wrong part. It was sickening. But anyways. God, am I cutting from orbit on that one? Jesus. Yeah. Anyways. So that's kind of my trip to the south. It was interesting. Everyone else was rather interesting. I don't know how to describe it. And we were, me, my brother, and my twin. Well, shit. My older brother looked like a used car salesman. He had no taste in fashion. He didn't know that you dressed in black for a funeral. And God, he looked like shit. And he said shit things. But anyways, like talking about Nosferatu and not Nosferatu, that's the vampire. No, fuck. The 11th planet and all this alien stuff, and I was just like, dude, shut up. These are pure Christians. They don't want to fucking hear about all this alien government conspiracy cover-up shit. 11th planet, how it affects our solar system, and blah, 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 and all this other bullshit. But you know what? Some of these people that were raised in the environment were looking outside, knowing that there was more than what they saw. More than what they had. And I was amused by how one of the wives were just like, oh my God, you're telling me the truth. I have been lied to all my life. Tell me the truth about Nibiru and I can't remember the 11th planet. There's a name to it. It's actually mentioned in the Bible. Something like sandstone. It's a real name of Chernobyl. Chernobyl is the Russian name for this planet. How it affects everything, and how it comes and goes, and how it planted life on Earth, and I'm like, holy shit. The fuck? Anyways, this is probably just beyond me. I need to sit down, do all the research, but I was amused that in such a deep well of the whole Christianity, there's a depravity among these people that they were looking for extremes to counterbalance because they just did not believe in the Bible. I mean, they went to church. They did the churchly thing. They looked beautiful and amazing. But when it came down to it, they didn't believe in it. And they're looking for spirits and gods and angels and actual events of aliens, space aliens. They would be happier to have space aliens as an explanation than God. I was like, holy shit, how deprived were these people? I'm not saying everyone's that way, just this group of people. And, most of them, I would insult Jim to the rest of the group when Jim wasn't around. My twin wanted to drop off a gallon of fine wine at $1 a gallon kind of stuff that my mom drank. Yeah, it was hooch. She loved it. He wanted to drop it off at the coffin to say, hey, you take some with you. Wherever you go, you're going to have plenty to drink like you have in life. This Jim guy, his head would just blow the fuck up. And I made a joke about it. I'm like, my twin mentioned about dropping it off, and I said, yeah, well, poor Jim, his head would blow up, because I was like, oh my God, it's not in scriptures! Kaboom! And everyone had a good, hearty laugh. It wasn't a fake laugh, it was a deep, guttural laugh, like, oh my God, it's so true, it's funny! I'm like, this Jim guy is a punchline to so many jokes that he just doesn't know it. It's sad. He could teach the guitar, but he couldn't sing to save his life. And it's just, he wanted to show off kind of music, and I'm like, oh, this is crap. Where's the hound dogs? He go, brrr, brrr. And people kind of like waved it aside, like, shut up. We don't want him to know. I'm like, oh God, poor guy. And what he does to his wife, oh dear God. But oh well. She's a tough woman. Perfect 10 in appearance. She could be a queen of any woman, any nation. Perfect 10. I'm like, holy shit. And she puts up with this. At a 1 to 10 on looks, this guy was a 3. I'm like, why did she go with him? Maybe he was more attractive when he was younger, but Jesus Christ. Mental power of a 2, the looks of a 3. Oh well. Anyways, I'm just yammering while drunk while playing this game, so. The funeral went well. I was actually kind of creeped out by how alive my mother looked when she was in the coffin. It was like, I was waiting for her to sit up and point her finger at you and be like, ha! You thought I was dead? Ha ha. She looked alive, healthy, well. And I'm like, it's been a month. I was expecting, I don't know, the fat to settle to the backside, cheekbones to be sticking out, chin to be sticking out, somewhat skeleton-ish on the face. No. She was perfectly normal. Like she just laid down and is like, excuse me, I'm going to bed. And people just walked up to her coffin and looked at him like, holy shit. It was creepy. But anyways, that was just me. That was my opinion. And people were crying, some more than others. You know, you got this, opposing family that's just never been there. They wanted her in the family, and she ran. She's like, get the hell away from me. I'm doing anything but being around you. So we got a tour. A tour of this opposing family. How glorious the grandfather was. He was an entrepreneur. He did so much for the South and all this other stuff. And they mentioned, I forgot the phrase, but it basically was, he was a Southern good old boy. And what was it? I forgot the phrase. I seriously forgot the phrase. But everyone looked up to him. He was one of these, dignified individuals that make the colonial South look good. Like, really? Really? He was a true entrepreneur. He I'm going to tell you one of the family stories anyways. They'd save these stories for Christmas and Thanksgiving to tell over a turkey. He walked into a movie theater back at the beginning, 19-something. And then he saw how beautiful it was, how much money they had. And he's like, I'm going to sell them something. He saw that they had popcorn. So he's like, I'm going to make popcorn. And I'm going to sell it to them, and I'm going to be filthy rich. So he went out and bought 40 acres. And they hired some local laborers to clear that land. And then they stockpiled the wood to the corner. And he tried to grow corn. That land could not grow corn. But what it was good for? It was this yellowish brick. So he decided to make a a forge. Anyways, he decided to make brick out of it. So once he made his forge, come on, I want this lift. There you go, lift up. Once he made his little furnace with brick, he then used every last bit of the shrub brush that he harvested off the land as fuel to cook these bricks into bricks. And then once he went off and found more land. He found more land that could grow corn. And he grew corn, popcorn to be specific. He popped it and he stored it. He used the bricks that he was making to build silos to store the popped corn in. And he went back to the theater to sell them popcorn, and they did not accept it because they were a monopoly. They already had their supplier, so he could not sell the popcorn. So he kept it in the silo and decided that what can he do? So he bought cattle, and the cattle he would feed all the popcorn to. And then after he's done feeding the popcorn, once he was completely out, he sent these cows to slaughter. And then sold the meat. So, here it is, 3 generations, 4 generations later, and his brick farm is still around. And you know, the perfect 10 of a lady was giving basically a tour guide through this area, talking about how glorious grandfather whatever was. And, you know, what he did and all the rest. And we're at the brick farm, and we talked to the manager. He has no fucking clue where the company came from or how it works. He's just happy to hire himself, who's a Mexican, and others that are Mexican. You know, he's just like, hey, it's a job. And they're not harvesting from the land. There's no yellow brick anymore. They buy concrete, and then they put yellow into it to match the yellow of what used to be the land. It's a beautiful yellow. I hate yellow. I fucking hate yellow. Taxi cabs and anything else yellow, just it's a knee-jerk reaction to hate yellow. I don't know why it exists, but I hate yellow. I want to kill yellow. But they took gray concrete and added yellow dye to it until it made the yellow brick of grandfather's brick. And even though he sold off the company to someone that married one of his daughters, it was amusing. Really was amusing to see that they didn't give a shit about the origins. They didn't care about where it came from. It's yellow brick. Yellow dye plus gray concrete equals yellow brick. They were so far off the land that it was just I'm rambling. I'm just rambling. Anyways, these religious people were fucking retarded. They didn't understand hate. I'm floored by that. I'm like, of all the people you expect to understand hate and feeding demons, you expect that from a religious person. But no. You know, this is going to sound like madness, but God has talked to me. It wasn't words that you understand. It was my own memories in such a way that it expressed an idea. And one of them was, do not enter church, do not preach in church, because that's where all the demons hide. Demons will not listen to your message. They'll smile and nod and ignore what you said and continue to believe that they are good. Church is not where you preach. Like, holy shit, I'm not a preacher. I don't give a shit about religion. So where'd this message come from? I don't know. It's that madness. Can I blame aliens and UFOs? Sure, that would be great. Great, just fucking great. But anyways, I'm crazy. I'm stupid. I'm a fucking idiot. That makes it so much easier for me to just be like, okay, whatever I said, whatever I did, I'm an idiot. Leave me alone. I'm just an idiot. Makes it so much better. But anyways, I'm a fucking idiot. I'm a retard. I accept that. With that said, this is Farming Simulator. This is awesome. Amazing. For poor people that can afford only a game to be able to make a farm and do as they see fit. Oh, brilliant. Awesome. Lovely. But with that said, I will catch you guys later. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening to my madness in all of its drunkenness. And I'll catch you later.